There will be any second. Good evening all and welcome. It's 8 o'clock. It's Sunday, January the 3rd, and it's Nick's Live Sunday Quiz being transmitted directly from sunny Hill Morton in Rugby. So great to see everybody. This will be our first quiz of the new year. So I hope everybody will enjoy something tonight. We will see. Let's see who we've got online so far. We've got 18 teams so far ready to go. Faye's just said Happy New Year, Nick, Lydia and all. I trust that's what the HMY stands for. And Robin's just sent us a big Happy New Year. Thanks, Robin. Happy New Year to you. Hope all is well with you and the gang. Robin, just whilst you're on, I was trying desperately to find PRS's last Sunday's score on the chat column. Because, of course, you can go through, and I couldn't find a score for you. So I'm afraid I haven't got you down for anything. I don't suppose you know what the hell you scored last week. You better let me know if not. Right, Clive and Janet have just joined us. Here we go. Drove out to Barnard Castle. Just testing my what? EU. Oh, excellent. Oh, well, I hope you had a good trip to Barnard Castle and it was worth it, he says, Natalie. Well, I don't know. Georgia's just said hello, so Happy New Year from the Yorkies. So happy New Year to Georgia and Rory. Hope all is well with you, and you've had a good one, whatever we can. Tonight, I'm on my own beer. This is lest we forget, just in case I forget what it is. And a fine beer it is. What's that? What's that, Ange? Oh, I see. I'm with you. Right, sorry. Martin's just said something in Welsh. Presumably that means Happy New Year, Martin. I have no idea. You could just be swearing at me as usual. But never mind. Mike Yates has just signed in. Good evening, Mike. Hope you've had a great New Year, or as good as it can get. I suppose, like most of us, you're just locked down and there's not an awful lot we can do, really, is there? And stay at home and keep on drinking the beer and watching the television, but never mind. Has anybody found anything new on television recently? We've been watching this new series on BBC iPlayer, The Serpent. It's quite interesting. I think we've got to, what are we up to? It's episode 5 or something, so we've got a few more of those to watch before the end, but it's well worth it, he says. George Priestley has just joined us. Good evening, George. Hope all is well with you. And keep up the good work. Let's see how we fare tonight in the quiz. Chris has just joined us. He's saying Happy New Year to us all. So Happy New Year, Chris and family. Hope you've had a good one. I noticed Rugby golf course was packed yesterday afternoon. I thought the course would still be closed, but presumably it wasn't because the car park was certainly full. Kevin Keenan's just joined us. Good evening, Kevin. Hope all is well with you and the gang. And how many Rotarians have we got joining us tonight? It'd be nice to know. We will see. And a very good result last week. Lisa Lasky's just joining us. So they're saying Happy New Year from everyone. This is from sunny California and elsewhere. Presumably, where's your other contingent from? It's normally Cheshire somewhere, isn't it? Clive and Janet from Stockton has joined us. I meant testing my eyes. That's what you meant. Oh, I see. That's exactly what my wife said. It's all right. It's very difficult to keep up with some of the chat sometimes when people put things on. I haven't got a clue what they're on about, but never mind. Matthew's asking me how the power generation's going. Well, it's hopeless. And the power consumption is too high at the moment, but never mind. What's up? Graham Gifford saying good evening from Uppertoft. So we've got the Uppertoft team have joined us from sunny Cambridge. Michelle's just said Happy New Year all. Michelle, James and Charlie, they're all here ready to do battle tonight. And Latham House Lockdown have just joined us. Sup, dudes. I'm sure we will. Right, the Ridgeways have just joined us. So good evening, the Ridgeways. Hope all is well with you. And Sarah's just joined us. So it's our first quiz of the new year, Sarah. Have you made any New Year's resolutions? Be interesting to know what you've been up to. Hopefully we'll get to see you sometime later this year if all goes to plan. But as with all things that have happened with this virus, we're not really sure. I was hoping to be off to India or at least somewhere on the subcontinent by the end of February or something, but that is not going to happen. So it looks like we're curtailing our travelling around the world this year. I might have to stay in sunny Rugby for some more months to come, but never mind. Now we've got a vaccine out there, it looks like we might have some a chance of actually getting back to a normality this year. But I think from the pub's point of view, we might well be locked down until at least the end of February, but we will see. Right then, we've had Sarah join us. Andrew and Jane have just joined us from sunny Lutterworth. Not Lutterworth. I always say that, actually, Elvertoft. It sounds the same, but completely different. So good evening to Andrew and Jane. Hope you've had a good New Year and Christmas. As we've just had Jed and Tracy join us. They've just signed in from sunny Burton-on-Trent. Hope all is well with you. And Squeaky Bob has just joined us. So we've got Neil and Tracy have also joined us, as have Pick and Mix. So Pick and Mix are here ready to do battle tonight. Now then, let me just go quickly through last week's scores. As I say, I didn't get a score in for some reason for PRS last week, but never mind. We had, in no particular order, I seem to have, I don't quite know why one or two scores haven't come up, but we had the Quizzy Rascals on 62 points. We've got Famous 5 on 60 points. We had a tie, split the difference, the Rugby Rotary Club and Squeaky Pub also managing 59 points. This was last Sunday's tally. Don Quixote and Clive and Janet from Stockton were on 58 points. Mick Roberts was on 56, and then we had a number of teams on 55, including the Ridgeways and Jed and Tracy. If your names haven't been called out, just let me know, but it was there or thereabouts. So we've had, wait a minute, as in Northern Kelly Team UK and the West Midlands, Coventry and Bedworth. Blimey. Oh, so Lisa's got a team from all over the UK by the looks of things. Carol's just joined us from Home Alone 6. They're all here and raring to go. Happy New Year, Carol. Hope all is well with you and the family, and ready to do battle tonight. Now then, we have 6 interesting rounds of general trivia tonight, all from the ridiculous to the sublime, but never mind, we will see how we go. Round number 1 tonight, surprisingly, is entitled Sunday. Sunday, the 3rd of January. Well, it's actually Sunday, Jan 03 RD, if that makes any sense. So write down the word Sunday, followed by the letters JAN, followed by the number 03, followed by R and D. That gives you 13 possible answers, or answers to the first 13 questions. So round number 1 will have 13 questions. Round number 2 is a straightforward trivia trail where the last letter of your first answer is the first letter of your next answer. Round number 3 tonight is entitled an initial letter link. We all know how that works. You take the initial letters and then I ask you to rearrange them to spell out something for the final question. Round number 4 is a mystery letter round. Basically, all the answers start with the same letter, but I don't tell you what that letter is. You've got to work it out. Obviously, as we get further down, it becomes more apparent, and then you can figure out all the answers. Round number 5 tonight will be entitled Initial Pairs. We played this the other week. First answer starts with AA. The second answer is a BB. Third is a CC, and so on and so forth until we get to the JJ. So 10 answers, 2-word answers, all starting AA, BB, CC. And then, of course, round number 6 is just a general trivia round where I test your general trivia to make sure that you've been taking notice over the previous year. Now, although there are 1 or 2 questions in, I've tried not to make it a New Year quiz because everybody would be bored to death if I did 6 rounds of New Year rubbish from last year's whatever. Yes, Robin's just checked. He says, weird, I've gone into last week's quiz and noted that PRS's scores at the end of round 5 and round 6 are not there. How very odd. Well, I found exactly the same, Robin. I couldn't find your score. And I'm sure you would have scored something, as I didn't with Carol's team, either Home Alone 6, because I'm sure they were there last week. Anyway, where have I got to? Carol there. Penny's just joined us. So good evening, Penny. Hope you've had a great New Year, as best as it can be. She's saying, even Nick, Lydia and Angie and all, Happy New Year to everybody. Good to see you, to cheer us all up. Well, we'll see about that. Ian Anthony James has just joined us. Don Quixote signing in from North Manchester, South London and Upper Lower Hill Morton. I know, I like that. And Carol's just joined us. Cornish Tyke is here, says Carol. Good evening, Carol. I hope you've had a great New Year. It's great to see you joining in again with one of Nick's silly quizzes. Chris, joke for this evening. I was diagnosed with bacon flu last week. It started as swine flu, but then they cured it. Actually, that is very good. That's a very good joke to start us off, Chris. I'm going to give that one an 8 out of 10. So that takes the lead so far in tonight's silly jokes. Gareth's just joined us. Gaz and Bean are here. Good evening, Gareth and Gaz and Bean. Great to see you. Vanessa's also joined us. Hi, Nick and family, she says. Mick's just joined us. Mick Roberts and Bev. Mick and Bev online, and Happy New Year. Well, Happy New Year to you, Mick and Bev. We've also had Pinky and Perky join us. So Happy New Year to Pinky and Perky and all the gang. Hope you're feeling well. Paula's just joined us. The Quizzy Rascals are Happy New Year and tier everyone. Yeah, tier 4 for everyone, I think, at the moment. But never mind. Whether it's going to get any worse, whether we're going to join Scotland tomorrow and go up to tier 5, we'll have to wait for any announcements that our famous leader might come up with. But we'll see. He's been on the telly at the moment telling us that things might get worse and he might introduce more sanctions. But God, no, I thought in the UK, well, certainly in England, we were only supposed to have 3 tiers. That was the idea. They chose to have 5 in Scotland, apparently. We were only supposed to have 3, but we've already got 4, so maybe they're going to change their mind and we'll have 5 soon. So we'll see. Anyway, great to see you, Paula. And let me just run through last week's scores now that Paula's joined us, because the scores I had on the doors from last week, as I said, a couple of team scores didn't seem to be down, which was a bit of a shame. We had the Quizzy Rascals run out winners last week on 62 points, so well played them. The famous 5 ended up on 60 points in second place, so well played them. Then we had 3 teams split the difference, Rugby Rotary Club and Squeaky Pob on a fantastic 59, with Don Quixote and Clive and Janet close behind on 58. Then we have Mick Roberts, Mick and Bev on 56, with Jed and Tracy and the Ridgeways on 55 points. So it was a pretty close thing last week. Wooly Chewbacca's just joined us. Good evening, Wooly Chewbacca. Hope all is well with you. Although he wasn't very happy, was he, Wooly Chewbacca? Not long ago. Never mind. All the gang, there's only 2 of us, right? Dan, Alex, and all the gang's here, but there's only 2 of us. Never mind, 2 is good enough. Dylan C, good evening from South Wales. Excellent. Lovely to see you, Dylan. Hope all is well with you and you've had a good new year. Well, best you can in South Wales, I suppose, like us. You're locked down, but never mind. Footy Fox 86, evening all. Matthew saying, Nick, think we got 66, 62 as well. I thought you had as well, Matthew, but as you can see, I have to rely on the chat column to find last week's scores, and for some reason your score didn't appear there, which I was surprised at, because I'm sure that I was pretty sure you were up there or thereabouts. So probably a joint first place last week between the PRS and the Quizzy Rascals on 62 points. Never mind. Chris Speaks saying, no, Roy, my voice started crackling. Oh, Jill's just joined us. Hi, Jill. This is from Middletoft. So Stephen Jill in Middletoft near Cambridge, good evening to you. And Chris Meads from sunny Rugby. Good evening to you, Chris. Hope all is well with you and you've had a good one. We didn't have a call from you today, Chris. I was expecting a call for some beer possibly, but never mind. There's the rest of the week to go out and do some shopping for us. Now we're getting old, you know. Oh, yes, we can't go out at all. Andy Smith has just joined us, and currently we have 67 teams or people online, at least from different locations, raring to do tonight's quiz. We've got a couple of minutes to go before kickoff. Do remember, it's very important that you all like the quiz with a little, it's very easy, you just hit the little like button at the bottom. I've got 10 likes so far tonight, so let's see whether we can beat 30, because I got 30 the other week, and the more likes I can get, the higher we get up the rankings on YouTube. You'll be able to even find me on soon on Google and places like that. You just type in nicks+pub+quiz, you might even be able to find it, but never mind. Carol's asking for an update on the tooth. It's still not right, Carol. I went to the dentist. He had me in his chair. He filed a bit off the back of my tooth, claiming that it was probably my, whatever you call them, at the bottom here. The incisors at the bottom that was hitting the tooth and probably making it, I don't know what he meant. Never mind. It still feels a bit dodgy, but never mind. We'll come back to the tooth later. Right then, everybody, let me just run through the rounds again. We'll start the quiz very soon. Starting with round 1 again, just write down the word Sunday, followed by, if I can get there, Got to get to the top of the page. Oh, God. Right. Write the word Sunday, followed by the three letters J-A-N, as in January, followed by the numbers 03, followed by the letters R-D. So that's Sunday, Jan 03, R-D. There are 13 possible questions in the first. Well, there are 13 questions in the first round. Round number 2 is going to be entitled a trivia trial. We all know that how that works even. Round number 3 tonight is entitled an initial letter link. Round number 4, pretty straightforward, is a mystery letter around, Round number 5 tonight is entitled initial pairs. Pairs of A's, pairs of B's, pairs of C's, pairs of D's, and so on and so forth. Round number 6, of course, will just be general trivia, which we should all be quite good at after a year of practice. I have to say it's been very impressive the way teams seem to have got better and better and better over time. Obviously, doing the same quiz each week, I suppose you get to know the format and things. But we've had some very impressive quizzing over the last 9 months, and may long it continue, because we've got some very good quizzes in our midst. Right then, it is now a minute past kickoff time, so we will get going. We've got 74 teams currently on. I've got 22 likes. Do feel free to hit the like button if you like the quiz tonight. Right, let me just get my quiz up and we'll get going. Are we all ready? Pens at the ready, or pencils at the ready, drinks at the ready, nuts at the ready. Here we go. Question 1, starting with the letter S, as in Sunday. What name is given to a small mesh-like tube that's used to treat narrow or weak arteries? A lot of us oldies may have one, or may not have one in the case of me, but never mind. So what name is given to a small mesh-like tube that's used to treat narrow or weak arteries? Now then, Michelle was kind enough to send me some of her marvellous cider, so I'm just testing your cider out here, Michelle. It's not in the same glass as my beer, so I'm mixing the, what am I mixing? The apple with the apple and the grain tonight. Oh, I think that's allowed. God, blimey. Question number 2. Starting with the letter U, 2-word answer. First rolled out in 2013. What is a much maligned social security payment that was intended to simplify working age benefits and to incentivize paid work? It's still much maligned now. So first rolled out in 2013. What is a much maligned social security payment that was intended to simplify working age benefits and to incentivize paid work? 2-word answer starting with the letter U. I'm sure most of you have got that one straight away. So question number 3, listen carefully. Founded in 1997, although it seems a lifetime away now, and now worth in excess of $135 billion. What is an American media services provider headquartered in Los Gatos, California? I think that's Los Gatos. Could be Gatos. I'm sure our Californian friends will help us with that one. So founded in 1997 and now worth in excess of $135 billion. What is an American multimedia services provider headquartered in Los Gatos, California? Is it Gatos or Gatos? Yeah. Question number 4 is a good old quiz question. We all need to know this one. I'm sure I asked this earlier in the year. Yeah. Earlier last year. What is the surname, starting with the letter D, of the person who has won or received a total of 26 Academy Awards and holds the record for the most Academy Awards in history? That's a straightforward quiz question. Most of you are going to know that. So what is the surname of the person who has won or received a total of 26 Academy Awards and holds the record for most Academy Awards in history? Right, question number 5 is a bit tricky. It's a kind of a 2-word answer. Well, it is a 2-word answer. Named after a Greek city and once described by comedian Bill Bailey as the laminated book of dreams, what was printed for the final time in 2020, 48 years after its launch? So question 5 again, named after a Greek city and once described by comedian Bill Bailey as the laminated book of dreams, what was printed for the final time in 2020, 48 years after its launch? Do remember, it's got to start with the letter A. That might give that city away. Well, it might do. Question number 6 is for our northern friends. Starting with the letter Y, what is a 2-letter postcode used around the area of Malton, Pickering, Scarborough, and Whitby, amongst others? So it's just a 2-letter answer I'm after. What is a 2-letter postcode used around the area of Malton, Pickering, Scarborough, and Whitby, amongst others? Well, I hope everybody's had at least a half-decent New Year. Celebrations were a little bit subdued. We're normally down the pub and having a few beers and can't remember much about it, but never mind. Normally staggering back at 3 or 4 in the morning in previous years. But this year we were in bed for a decent hour. Well, 2 o'clock at least. We stayed up and we were hoping to watch all the fireworks, but we were trying to find where the fireworks were on the channel, but it never kind of, well, we found them in the end, but never mind. Right, question number 7, starting with the letter J for January. Sung each year at the end of the last night of the proms, which song was composed in 1916 by Hubert Parry, taking the words from a poem by William Blake? So question 7 again, sung each year at the end of the last night of the proms, which song was composed in 1916 by Hubert Parry, taking the words from a poem by William Blake? I'm sure we've all got that one, so let's move on quickly, swiftly, with the letter A. What Italian word can be translated directly into English and means see you later? So question number 8 again, what Italian word can be translated directly into English and means see you later? Or goodbye, I suppose. Question number 9. Who is introduced as the childhood best friend of Simba and ultimately becomes his wife by the end of The Lion King? Anne's just joining us a bit late at the party tonight. Evening all from Anne and Dave. Great to see you on board, Anne. And you, Dave. Hope all is well. You've had a good New Year. We're only down to question 9. You're all right to round 1. They're all in the chat column. You'll find them if you want to try and catch up fast. Just write down the word Sunday, Jan. Was it 03? Oh, yes. RD, that's it. Right, question number 10. Starting with a 0. What is the international dialing code for Australia? Listen carefully. The second part of the 4-digit code is the same as the bingo call Baker's Bun. So if you're all up with your bingo, you know what Baker's Bun is. That helps you enormously. So what is the international dialing code for Australia? The second part of the 4-digit. Oh. Sorry, my wife's challenging me with that one, but I was right. The second part of the 4-digit code is the same as the bingo call Baker's Bun. If you've never heard of it, you obviously don't play bingo regularly. Question number 11, starting with the number 3, as in the third. What is the basic film gauge most commonly used for both analog photography and motion pictures? So question 11 again, what is the basic film gauge most commonly used for both analog photography and motion pictures? It's a metric measurement in millimeters, if that helps. Right, I'm going to test a little bit more of this fine cider that Michelle's been brewing, or Charlie, I'm not sure which. God, blimey, yeah. Clearly takes the roof off your mouth, that one. Fine tipple. Question number 12, starting with the letter R. Drawing on his interest in sports, which well-known fashion designer named his first full line of menswear, Polo, in 1968. So question number 12 again, drawing on his interest in sports, which well-known fashion designer named his first full line of menswear, Polo, in 1968. It's a two-word answer starting with the letter R. And finally, bit of a giveaway this one, starting with the letter D, according to the Trussell Trust, which calendar month is the busiest of the year in the UK for food banks? Although that might have been skewed a bit this year, we don't really know. So according to the Trussell Trust, which calendar month is the busiest of the year in the UK for food banks? Not guilty, read the cider. Who brewed it, Michelle? Go on, tell me. It was Charlie, wasn't it? Not telling me it was James. Oh dear. Right, that's the end of the first round. You should have 13 answers down. Most of those pretty straightforward. A couple of tricky ones just to try and catch you out, of course, in the normal manner. Right, I'll just replenish my glass and then we'll get on with some marking after round one. All right. Okay then, round number one, let's start off that name given to a small mesh-like tube that's used to treat narrow or weakened arteries. They stick it in your artery, it expands, it's called a stent, Number two, of course, was that much maligned payment. It's called universal credit. Number three, that company I was after was called Netflix. Number four, of course, was Disney, as in Walt Disney. I only wanted his surname. Walt Disney, 26 Academy Awards. Number five, that was a tricky one. Laminated Book of Dreams, what was printed for the final time in 2020? Named after a Greek city, it was the Argos catalogue. The Argos catalogue. Well done if you got that. That was a tricky one. Number six, of course, Malton, Pickering and Scarborough all come under the York two-letter, so it's Y-O. Number seven, I was after the song Jerusalem. Number eight, of course, Arrivederci is what I was after. Number nine was Nala, who became the wife of Simba. Number 10, Baker's Bun, of course, is 61, so the dialing code for Australia is 0061. Well done if you got that. The basic film gauge used for most analog photography and motion pictures is 35mm. Number 12, of course, was Ralph Lauren. And finally, it was December that the Trussell Trust say is the busiest month of the year for food banks, although it's probably been pretty brisk all year this year. So it'll be interesting to know whether it's still the case. Right, let's have some scores in and see how you've all fared after round number one. We've got Martin Davis on a fantastic 11. Well done, Martin. We've got Jed and Tracy, who are not happy with that, I'm sure, with a 9. We've got Home Alone 6 straight off the marks with 13 points. Footy Fox 86 with a 12. We've got Sarah, Russ, James and Joe tonight, is it? The full team, is it? On 12. We've got PRS on 13. Faye saying 9 for the boobies. Andrew Lewis and Jane are on 11. We've got Pinky and Perky on 11. We've got Chris Speaking the gang on 10. Don Pizzotti on 11. The Famous Fives on 11. Squeaky Bob's on 12. Well done, Squeaky Bob. Jill Pugh and Steve are on 11. We've got Anne Anderson Tail. The Giffords are on, just gone off my screen, sorry. Graham Gifford and Jane are on 12. We've got Latham House Lockdown on 12. The Ridgeways are on 12. Mick Roberts is on 12. Clive and Janet from Stockton on 10. Michelle, Charlie and James are on 12. We've got Pigger Mix on 12. Oh, the Yorkies. We like the York postcode question. I'm sure you would. I'm glad you got that one right. Anyway, they're on 9. Split the Difference are on 13. Good score to start off. Penny Graham's on 8. We've got Carol Green and the Yorkshire Tyke on 8. Woody Chewbacca saying, oh dear, on 8. Never mind, 8's a good score. Chris Pickard's on 10. Paula Lewis and the Quizzy Rascals are on 13. Is there no stopping them tonight? Gaz and Bean are on 8. We've got Lisa Lasky, Team UK USA, also on 13. Kevin Keenan, the Rugby Roach Club, they'll be feeling a bit hard done by, only on 10 on that first round. Mike Yates is on 9. Any other scores to come in? Well, you'll have to let me know. Well, we've got a really good range of scores there. Anyway, from 8 up to 13. So let's see whether those teams a little bit further down. Dylan, see, well done, Dylan, on 11. That's a great score to start you off. Right, anybody else got their scores to come in? If not, we'll crack on with round number 2. Now, round number 2, for anybody that hasn't played this before, and I'm sure you all have, a trivia trial. You take the last letter of your first answer, and it's the first letter of your next answer, all the way down to number 10, where the last letter of number 10 is the first letter of number 1. I will explain as we go, especially for Dylan, if he's not done it before. Right, question number 1. In February, what did Priti Patel say would once again be entwined with our national identity with the return of its iconic blue and gold design? I used to have a couple of those. So, in February, what did Priti Patel say would once again be entwined with our national identity with the return of its iconic blue and gold design? Right, so one-word answer I'm after with that one. We just had a pep talk. Well done, Kevin. You give him a pep talk. Crack the whip a bit. Right, take the last letter of that one-word answer. It's the first letter of this one, number 2. Who said, I told everybody with a pair of ears that the Gypsy King would return to the throne? Now, that's a 2-word answer. So who said, I told everybody with a pair of ears that the Gypsy King would return to the throne? Very big. Well, he's very big, yeah. Right then, take the last letter of that guy's surname. It's the first letter of number 3. Question number 3, also known as Gokudo. What are members of transnational organized crime syndicates originating in Japan called? It's just a one-word answer I'm after. So, also known as Gokudo. What are members of transnational organized crime syndicates originating in Japan called? They probably only call this in the West, actually, rather than actually in Japan or anywhere else in the world, but never mind. Right, take the last letter of the Gokudo, or the alternative name for them, and it's the first letter of question number 4. Fritz Haber and Karl Bosch gave their names to a process for making what gas, which has the chemical formula NH3? Again, a one-word answer. So Fritz Haber and Karl Bosch gave their names to a process for making what gas, which has the chemical formula NH3? I'm sure we've all heard of the Haber-Bosch process. Maybe not. Right, take the last letter of that gas. My wife's giggling. She's obviously heard of that one. Take the last letter of that gas, so to speak, and it is the first letter of this 2-word answer I'm after. Popular between 1890 and 1910, and a reaction to the academic art of the 19th century. What was an art movement inspired by natural forms and structures, particularly the curved lines of plants and flowers? Two-word answer. So popular between 1890 and 1910, and a reaction to the academic art of the 19th century. What was an art movement inspired by natural forms and structures, particularly the curved lines of plants and flowers? All right, it's a two-word movement, so to speak. Take the last letter of that movement, and it's the first letter of answer number 6. In many Christian denominations, what name is given to a person who is responsible for seating guests and maintaining the order and security of services? That sounds a bit formal to me. But in many Christian denominations, what name is given to the person who is responsible for seating guests and maintaining the order and security of services? I suppose they're mostly seen at weddings, just to help people with that one. Again, it's a one-word answer, and it's a singular. I don't need the plural, it's a singular. I did say name given to the person. Oh. Right, take the last letter of that person, that security guard at a wedding, and it's the first letter of number 7, or the answer to number 7. Also, a risky method of contraception. What is the longest word in the concise Oxford Dictionary that doesn't contain a vowel? There's a good one for you. So, also a risky method of contraception. What is the longest word in the concise Oxford Dictionary that doesn't contain a vowel? I specifically said concise dictionary. There's probably half a dozen in the OED, but never mind. Right, are we keeping up? Am I going too fast or what? Do tell me off if I'm going too fast. Right, take the last letter of that one word, and it's the first letter of number 8. The plural's longer. Well spotted, Sarah. Oh dear. There. Back on the cider. Oh, blimey. Ah. Fantastic cider. Question number 8. Listen carefully, starting with the last letter of that, what was it? Oh, the risky form of contraception. Here we go. Question number 8. In Greek mythology, who had venomous snakes in place of hair and a stare that would turn people to stone? She was beheaded by Perseus, who then used her gaze as a weapon against her. Oh, I mean, against others, not against her, because she was already dead. So in Greek mythology, who had venomous snakes in place of hair and a stare that would turn people to stone? She was beheaded by Perseus, who then used her gaze as a weapon against others. Oh, well spotted, Matthew. These are now where are these from? Home bargain glasses. No, I brought another pair and they were the wrong prescription. I couldn't read the screen properly, so I went back, complained that their chart didn't work very accurately, and got a new pair for free, obviously. No, I didn't. I'm talking rubbish. I just went and got another pair. Margaret Thatcher? Beheaded by Perseus? Oh, possibly. It would nearly fit, but not quite. Not the right letters. Right, take the last letter of that Greek mythological person. And it's the first letter of number 9, with a resident population of approximately 4,500 people. Which British island would you find the ferry port villages of Brodick and Lochranza? Sounds a bit Scottish to me. So with a resident population of approximately 4,500, which British island would you find the ferry port villages of Brodick and Locranza? Do remember to use the last letter of the previous answer to help you with that one. So take the last letter of that little island, or medium-sized island, and it will give you the first letter of question number 10. What name is given to a tide that occurs twice a month when the sun and moon are at right angles to the earth? So question number 10, again, what name is given to a tide that occurs twice a month when the sun and the moon are at right angles to the earth? Now then, the last letter of that tide will take you all the way back to number 1 with the first letter of number 1. That's if you've got them all right, of course. Now, for anybody that hasn't done this before, just check that the last letter of each of your answers is the first letter of your next answer, all the way to number 10, and the last letter of number 10 is the first letter of number 1. Hope we're all keeping up with that. It's called the Trivia Trails, pretty straightforward. Right then, everybody, let's do some marking. I'm sure we've got some full marks on that round for some people. So, question number 1. In February, what did Priti Patel say would once again be entwined with our national identity? I'm not quite sure where. Well, no, I won't say anything about Priti Patel. Let's not go there. It was the passport, of course. That gave you the T for that guy called Tyson Fury, better known as the Gypsy King. That gave you the Y for the Yakuza, members of transnational organised crime syndicates from Japan. That gave you the A for the gas ammonia, which of course has got the symbol NH3. That gave you an A for that art movement. It's called Art Nouveau. Art Nouveau. That in turn gave you a U for an usher, of course, that is in charge of services in churches. That gave you the R for the rhythm, as in a rhythm method, or the only word or the longest word in the concise Oxford Dictionary that doesn't contain a vowel, apparently, is rhythm. That gave you the M for Medusa, which in turn gave you the A for the Isle of Arran, on the west coast of Scotland there. That gave you the N for a neap tide, and of course, that took you all the way back to number 1, passport. So well done if you got that. Lisa's just saying a little more time, please. Never mind, I've just given you all the answers, Lisa, so don't worry about that. Mark as you seem fit. There are the answers for you. So feel free to make it up as you go along, I'm sure, but never mind. Martin Davis is on fantastic 20. Well played, Martin. Carol's coming in with a 16. Well done, Carol. Squeaky Bob on 22. Mick Roberts on 22. Home Alone 6 on 23. We've got Chris Peake on 20. We've got Sarah and the gang on 21. We've got Jill Pugh now on 20. We've got PRS on 23. Chris Pickard's moved on to 20. We've got Rugby Rotary Club. The Pep Talks work. They're on 20 now. Wooly Chewbacker on 15. Mike Yates on 23. Got Fame McSorley 8 for me and Jackie. Is that all? You were on 8 before. Well, no, you weren't. Anyway, Michelle's on 22. Anthony Ridgway's now moved on to 22. The Ridgways, that's a great score. And the Giffords are also on 22. What's Matthew saying? Every year I make a New Year's resolution based on a famous Bee Gees song. Ironically, last year it was Night Fever. This year it's definitely Staying Alive. Very good. Let's leave the jokes until after the scoring. Here we go. Graham Gifford's on 22. Jed and Tracy are on 19. We've got Georgia Lammett and the Yorkies now on 15 and a half. Good half there. Anne Anderson and Dave are on 17. We've got Pick and Mix on 20. Andrew Lewis has moved on to 19. Clive and Janet from Stockton are on nothing. Famous Five have moved on to 21. Diane, Alex and Pinky Perky are on 21. Sure. What is it? Oh, bother, it's just gone off the screen. I've missed it. Gaz and Bean are on 13. Footy Fox 86. Doing very well tonight on 19. Clive and Janet from Stockton are on 20. Dylan C. moved on to 18. Don Quixote on 21. Penny Graham doing very well on 14. Team UK USA on a fantastic 22. Wooly Chewbacker. Mike, what's that? 23 question mark? No. Latham House Lockdown on 19. Roland Forbes. Well done, Roland on 19. Yes, Roland, sorry. Quizzy Rascals 23. Split Deliverance are on 23. Roland's with Vicky tonight, and Roland's on 19 points. Well done, Roland. Right then, everybody. Round number 3 is entitled an initial letter link. Basically, there are just, in fact, I think tonight was 8 general knowledge questions, where question number 9 asks you to rearrange them, and question number 10 asks a further question just to give you 10 in the round, if that makes any sense, but we'll get there when we get there. Right. So 8 general knowledge questions, where question number 9 asks you to rearrange the first letters of the first word. So if you can think of something to do with last year, you might already have the 8-letter word. Right, here we go. An initial letter link. Question number 1. The first human trial in Europe of a coronavirus vaccine began in April last year in which British city? There's a good one for you. So the first human trial in Europe of a coronavirus vaccine began in April in which British city? That might have a bit of head scratching, that one. But don't think too hard. Pretty straightforward, really. Question number 2. Listen carefully. Before it was cancelled due to the coronavirus outbreak, which star, born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, was due to play the Legends slot at the 2020 Glastonbury Festival? It's a 2-word answer I'm after. So before it was cancelled due to the coronavirus outbreak, which star, born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, was due to play the Legends slot at the 2020 Glastonbury Festival? Now, don't worry if you haven't got these yet. You might be able to work it out as we go along. Question number 3, equally tough. The theme song for which film topped the UK singles charts in February of 2020, despite the film's release date being pushed back 5 times now, due for release now in the April of 2021. It was supposed to be released 2 years ago, this film, but for various reasons it's been pushed back and back and back. So question 3 again, the theme song for which film topped the UK singles charts in February 2020, despite the film's release date being pushed back 5 times now, due for release in April of 2021. Actually, I should have put a comma after times. I didn't think I was reading that right. Being pushed back 5 times, now due for release on April 2021. Yeah, it's the name of the film. It's the name of the film I'm after. It's a 4-word answer just to help you with that one. It's a film we're all eagerly awaiting. Hopefully, it will be out for April, unless we're all still locked down, in which case it'll be pushed back to June. Right then, question number 4. This is a good one. Headquartered in Hatfield, which company was valued at £21 billion in September 2020, overtaking Tesco as the most valuable UK retailer? Again, a 1-word answer. That's a good one, Maddie. So headquartered in Hatfield, which company was valued at £21.7 billion in September 2020, overtaking Tesco as the most valuable UK retailer? 1-word answer. Question number 5. Margaret Keenan, obviously Kevin Keenan's great aunt, became the first person to receive the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine after its approval, when she did so in which city's hospital? So question 5 again. Margaret Keenan became the first person to receive the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine after its approval, when she did so in which city's hospital? So just the name of the city, please. Splashed all over the news, that one. Now, question number 6, I didn't know this one, so I don't expect an awful lot of people to know this, but we'll see. You might be able to work it out. What first name did Boris Johnson and Carrie Symonds give to their new baby boy who was born in April? If there's any help, he wasn't called April. So what first name did Boris Johnson and Carrie Symonds give to their new baby boy who was born in April? Now, no looking that up. Use your brains. Just a one-word answer, obviously. Just his first name I want. Question number 7. The first trial of citywide COVID-19 testing in the UK started in November 2020. In which city? I'm sure we all know that one. So the first trial of citywide COVID-19 testing in the UK started in November 2020. In which city? It didn't sound so we can look all the other stuff. No, you can't look anything up. It's just that clearly that one. Something stupid I was watching the other day on the telly, actually. So, question number 8. Adopted from the catchphrase of a character who appeared in a 2020 film sequel, which Asian country began using the phrase "very nice" for a new tourism campaign? It's the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen, but never mind. So, adopted from the catchphrase of a character who appeared in a 2020 film sequel, which Asian country began using the phrase "very nice" for a new tourism campaign? Now then, question number 9. Listen carefully. The first letters of the first words in the previous 8 answers can be rearranged to spell what word, which was named Word of the Year for 2020 by Collins Dictionary, and it has been used millions of times. Yeah, this is question 9. There is a question 10, but you've got to work out this one first. For some reason, well, it's because it wouldn't fit. I couldn't make it fit with, because it's it's an 8-letter word that I was after, you see. So question number 9 again. The first letters of the first words in the previous 8 answers can be rearranged to spell what word, which was named Word of the Year for 2020 by Collins Dictionary. It's a word we all know very, very well. So look at your answers and see whether you can work out what the word is and then rearrange it. I will give you a little while to work that out. And if anybody's already worked that out and got all the other answers, you're more than welcome to stick a joke on by all means, whilst I test this cider again. I keep swapping between beer and cider. What's that? Oh no, it's the grape and the, was it the grape and the, what is it? Grain and the grape you should never mix. I will give you a second before we go on to question 10, because question 10, no, I will give you question 10. So listen to question 10 because it helps with question 9 out a little bit. Although there is no official government definition of question number 9, in what month of 2020 did the majority of the country enter the above state? So question number 10, although there is no official government definition of the above, that's referring to question number 9, in what month of 2020 did the majority of the country enter the above state? If there's any help, it's the month I got back from marvellous Vietnam and India. Oh. Right then, everybody, how are we doing? Do we need a bit more time to work this one out? Martin's saying, never mind the month. The days just merge now into a continuous month. So what are you doing with yourself then, Martin? Well, you can't be out fishing. Can you still go out fishing now? I saw some people fishing the other day. I don't know, you can still fish in tier 4, I suppose. Probably can. Fine, you don't go in with all your mates in a minibus, you'll be all right. But never mind. Sorry, that's a joke between me and Martin. Going back to work 3 days a week. Ah, excellent. That's fair. Well, I was going to ask you, Martin, I did mention it before. How do you fancy making me a bird box if I give you a diagram? Our Rotary Club, we're trying to put new bird boxes down the Great Central Way, and I think they've got quite a number, but I know you're you're good at making things like that. Fancy making a bird box, let me know. I'll give you some dimensions. Okay then, everybody, do we need any more time? Just let me know. Yeah, I'll give it a go. Of course, the idea, Martin, is to come up with a design which is so good that it will win a competition, you see, that we can share the spoils. Oh, damn. Got the, of course, the Rotary Club are doing the quiz tonight. That's a bit of a blow. And they'll be going at my marvellous plan will backfire on me. Come on, Kevin. I'll never see you putting anything on the chat about. Right, come on. Is everybody ready for some marking, or do we need a bit more time to work this out? Just stick it in the chat quickly if anybody wants a little bit more time. If not, we're going to go with the answers. Well, it's been a great turnout tonight. Doing really well. We've been up as high as 81, as low as 76. But we've got about 77 at the moment, people taking part. And as it's the beginning of the year, the first quiz of the year, I hope you're all going to enjoy tonight's result, whatever else. Right then, let's do some marking. I haven't had anybody else put them there, so let's just go through this round. A little bit tricky. You can have a guess at those that you didn't know. Question 1, the first human trial in Europe of a coronavirus vaccine began in April. In which British city? Of course, that was Oxford. Oxford, well done if you got that. Number 2, she was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. It was Diana Ross I was after. Diana Ross, that was due to play the Legends slot at the Glastonbury Festival. Number 3, the theme song for which film? Of course, that was the new James Bond film, which is still yet to be released. The title is No Time to Die. No Time to Die. Number 4, that company that's valued at 21.7 billion, now UK's biggest retailer, is Ocado. So well done if you got that. Number 5, Margaret Keenan became the first person to receive the Pfizer vaccine at Coventry University Hospital of Coventry. Number 6, the first time Boris Johnson and Carrie Simons called their baby boy Wilfred. Now there's a good name for you, Wilfred. Known as Wilf to his mates. Question number 7, the first trial of citywide COVID testing. That was in Liverpool. Question number 8, adapted from the catchphrase of a character who appeared in the 2020 film. Which Asian country began using the catchphrase, very nice? That was Kazakhstan, of course, with Borat. And final number 9, the first letter of the first words could be rearranged to spell the word lockdown, which was named Word of the Year for 2020. Now then, of course, number 10, although there is no official government definition of the above, in which month of 2020 did the majority of the country enter lockdown? That was actually in March. So well done, Michelle. Straight in there with a 32. Let's see how everybody else has fared. It's actually got the scores down before I read them all out, but never mind. Georgia and the Orchids on 22.5 points. Well done, Georgia. I hope you've learned a few from that round. Well, it was a tough round, but never mind. PRS 33 points. Look at that. We got Martin Davis on 29. Sarah, Russ, Joe and James on 27. We got Jed and Tracy on 29. We got Don Quizzotti and the gang on 31. We got Home Alone 6 on 32. Famous Five on 28. Rugby Road Club doing very well now on 30 points. We've got Pink and Perk on 31. Carol Green's on 23. We've got Dylan on 27. Got Anthony Ridgeway on 29 and Latham House Lockdown on 28. We've got Mick Roberts on 31. Well done, Mick. Gaz and Beamer on 20. Footy Box 86 on 26. We've got Jill and Steve on 29. Giffords, however, upper and lower tough, we've got on 32 points. Penny Grounds on 22. We've got Clive and Janet from Stockton on 30. Andrew and Jane Lewis on 26. We've got Chris Pickard on 30. Woody Shoebacker making comeback now on 22 points. Pickermix on 22. The Quizzy Rascals, 33 points. Roland, he says, oops, 30. What's he said? 23 points. Well done, Roland. Lisa Lasky, Team UK, USA on 32. We've got Squeaky Bob on 33. We've got Split the Difference on 33. Faye saying 22 for the Giggling Boobies. 25 even, sorry. Well done, the Giggling Boobies. Chris is on 28 points, so well done, the gang. Anne and Dave are on 23 points. So now then, round number 4 is a mystery letter round. Squeaky Bob on 22. Sorry, she says. Mike Yates on 29. That's a great score, Mike. Squeaky Bob said 32, I mean. Well done, Squeaky Bob. I thought it was up and down. Your score seems to be going up and down a little bit by... Right then. Round number 4 is a mystery letter round. A mystery letter round. I don't tell you what the letter is. All you've got to do is have 10 answers starting with the same letter. All your answers start with the same letter. So question number 1. What's the letter, Nick? B. Oh! To be or not to be. Right, here we go. Broadcast until 1996 and with around 3,500 episodes in its 30-year run, what children's program was designed to stimulate an interest in reading? Go on, you'll get that one, Robin. You're off. So broadcast until 1996 and with around 3,500 episodes in its 30-year run, what children's program was designed to stimulate an interest in reading? Never did me any good, to be fair, but never mind. I've run out of my delicious cider. Well, I have. No, I'll get Liz to get me some. Question number 2. This is a difficult question. What was proposed as a unit of time by the scientist Gilbert Newton Lewis? It was equal to the time it takes for light to travel 1 centimetre in a vacuum. So question number 2 again. What was proposed as a unit of time by the scientist Gilbert Newton Lewis? It was equal to the time it takes for light to travel 1 centimetre in a vacuum. Do remember it was only proposed. Right then, question number 3. Who was an English agricultural pioneer from Berkshire who helped bring about the British agricultural revolution? He perfected a horse-drawn seed drill in 1700. 2-word answer I'm after. So who was an English agricultural pioneer from Berkshire who helped bring about the British agricultural revolution? He perfected a horse-drawn seed drill in 1700. Very famous man. What's that? Yeah, well, yeah, obviously. Question number 4. Two-word answer I'm after. Which Hollywood actress co-founded the production company Echo Films? In 2008. She is divorced from Brad Pitt, to whom she was married for 5 years, and is separated from actor Justin Theroux, who she married in 2005 and then promptly separated 2 years later. Actually, I put that in twice, haven't I? I don't even need that little bit at the end there, Liz. Just put the question mark after the year 2015. So question 4 again. Which Hollywood actress co-founded the production company Echo Films in 2008? She is divorced from Brad Pitt, to whom she was married for 5 years, and is separated from actor Justin Theroux, whom she married in 2015. It's a two-word answer I'm after. Obviously, the first letter starts the... you get the idea. Is she? My daughter's saying she's 50 odd. Robin's saying so she's available again. Very possibly, Robin. Fancy your chances, you can have a go. I've got her email address. I could send it to you if you like. Question number 5. Which fictional character's name came from that of an American ornithologist, Caribbean bird expert, and author of the definitive field guide, Birds of the West Indies? So which fictional character's name came from that of an American ornithologist? He was a Caribbean bird expert and author of the definitive field guide, Birds of the West Indies. You've been writing to her, Nick, have I? Don't you start implicating me, Matthew. I'm a happily married man. Couldn't ask for any more. Wait a minute, the wife's laughing now. She's giggling. Says I'm trying to convince her. What's that, my love? Question number 6, pretty straightforward this one. With a population of approximately 750,000 people, Kingston is the capital of which Caribbean island? Oh dear. Well done, Robin. Happily married. Happily married. So with a population of approximately 750,000 people, Kingston is the capital city of which Caribbean island? Question number 7, nice easy one. Currently produced by Burton's Biscuit Company, what are a popular British biscuit made from shortbread with a raspberry or strawberry flavoured gel filling? Carol will know this one straight away. Come on, Carol. Currently produced by Burton's Biscuit Company, what are a popular British biscuit made from shortbread with a raspberry or strawberry flavoured gel filling? Two-word answer. What? No. Wife's telling me off now. Sorry, Carol. I apologise. Question number 8's a bit trickier. This is a four-word answer. What is a 1985 action-adventure romantic comedy and a sequel to the 1984 film Romancing the Stone? It was directed by Lewis Teague and produced by one of its stars, Michael Douglas. It's a four-word answer starting with a letter you may already have. So what is a 1985 action-adventure romantic comedy and a sequel to the 1984 film Romancing the Stone? It was directed by Lewis Teague and produced by one of its stars, Michael Douglas. Question number 9, listen carefully. In British politics, which Prime Minister made arch criminal, I was going to say, Jeffrey Archer, a life peer in 1992? Why not? Why not indeed? So in British politics, which Prime Minister made Jeffrey Archer a life peer in 1992? What else are you going to do with people that serve porridge, for heaven's sakes? Let's just make them a peer. That was a 2-word answer, of course. And question number 3, question number 10. In the movie Aliens, what was the name of the cat kept aboard the USCSS Nostromo as Ellen Ripley's pet? I can't think they would have allowed that to go into space, but there you go. So in the movie Aliens, what was the name of the cat aboard the USCSS Nostromo as Ellen Ripley's pet? I will allow a bit of leeway on that, as it had a nickname. Right then, hopefully you've worked out what the letter is, because if you haven't, you're in trouble. If you've worked out the letter, you might be able to work out those answers that are missing, or have a good guess at them. That's a good question. Aliens or Alien? I don't know. It's probably in the original. Was it Alien? Did I put Aliens? Let's go with Alien, actually. I remember it in the first film. I don't know. I don't know whether they got a second cat. It's probably killed by the alien. Although I think it appeared after the aliens had been. Whatever. Right then, everybody. We should have 10 answers, all starting with the letter B or something like that. Or a similar letter of the alphabet, one of 26 you could possibly go at. Do we need any more time? Is anybody else trying to work it out? Well, both Robin and Martin seem definitive about the film Alien. That's fine. I have changed it so that I won't get that wrong again. So here we go then. Question number 1, broadcast in 1996. That 30-year-old running program, children's program, apparently designed to simulate an interest in reading, was Jackanory even. Number 2. Now, this was a tricky one. What was proposed as a unit of time by the scientist Gilbert Newton Lewis? Well, starting with a J, it was a jiffy, just a jiffy. That's where it comes from. Apparently, it's the distance light will travel in a vacuum, 1 centimetre. That is pretty quick, I think. Question number 3 was Jethro Tull, who perfected the seed drill. Number 4 was Jennifer Aniston, of course. Number 5 was James Bond. That's Caribbean bird expert and author, Birds of the West Indies. He came up with the fictional character James Bond. Number 6 was Jamaica. Number 7, of course, the Jammy Dodgers. Number 8, I was after Jewel of the Nile, the Jewel of the Nile, which was a follow-up to Romancing the Stone. Number 9 was John Major. And finally, number 10, the cat was called Jonesy, but I will allow Jones because he was called Jones and or Jonesy. So Jones or Jonesy will do for number 10. Right then, everyone, let's have some scores in after that tricky J round. I was trying to lead you up the garden path with a B, but that clearly didn't work after question number 1. Right, Squeaky Pod, look at that, 41 points. Martin Davies now on 39. We've got Home Alone 6 on 41. Jen and Tracy have moved on to 38. We've got the Rugby Rotary Club on 39. Pinky and Perky are on 39. Paula Lewis, 43 points. We've got Sarah, Joe, James and Russ are on 36. We've got Famous 5 on 36. Mick Roberts on 41 points. That's a great score, mate. Well played. Roland's on 29. We've got Dylan on 36. Footy Fox 86 is on 31. The Giffords, where are the Giffords? They've just gone off my screen, sorry. The Giffords are on 40. Chris Speaks on 37. Carol Green's moved on to 30. We've got PRS now on 42 points. Chris Pickard's on 39. Penny Graham's on 29. We've got Don Quixote on 39 points. Andrew Lewis has moved on to Andrew and Jane on 32. The Ridgeways, that's Paul, Trish and Anthony on 36 points. The Yorkies have moved on to 27.5 points. Well played, the Yorkies. Michelle's now moved on to 42 points. Well played them. Clive and Janet from Stockton on 39. We've got Wooly Chewbacca on 29. Faye saying 33 for the Booby Prize girls. We've got Jill Pugh now on 37 points, catching up with the... are they catching up with the other Toftites? I don't know. Gaz and Bean are on 29 points. We've got Team UK, USA on 41. Latham House Lockdown now move on to 35. Pick a Mix on 38. Mike Yates on a very respectable 37. And Split the Difference on 42 points. So we've got Split the Difference on 42. We've got Michelle on 42. We've got Don Quixote 39. PRS are on 42. We've got Chris Pickard 39. We've got Graham Gifford on 40. We've got Pink and Perky 39. Paul Lewis on 43 at the moment in the lead. We got Home Alone 6 on 41 and Squeaky Bob on 41. Anybody else I missed? I'm very sorry. Oh, Rotary Club of Rugby on 39. Pink and Perky on 39. Some great scores there. Right then, round number 5 is entitled Initial Pairs. So basically, all the answers are two-word answers. And they are in alphabetical order, so they start AA, BB, CC, DD, you get the idea, until we get to JJ. Right then, starting off, question number 1, pretty straightforward. Adjacent to the Great Rift Valley of eastern North Africa, where would you find the burial place of the 20th century Emperor Haile Selassie? I'm sure you can work that one out. So adjacent to the Great Rift Valley of East North Africa, where would you find the burial place of the 20th century Emperor Haile Selassie? Two-word answer, obviously, starting A and A. So how many of us are going back to work next week then? Anybody going back to work next week? Be interesting to know. Oh, there's a few more scores coming right at the end there. What do we have? Oh yeah, Mike. Sorry, Latham. I had Latham House Lockdown. Did I mention them on 35? Pick a Mix on 38 with Mike Yates on 37. There are some great scores after that. So Michelle's going back to work tomorrow. Jackie's going back as well. Blimey. You've got to be careful who you're going back to work with now. This extremely virulent strain. Every day now, I seem to be hearing about more and more people that I know that have had the virus or got the virus. No, I don't have to talk about it. I'll talk about something else. Sorry, I'm going off the virus. We'll go on to something else. Gareth's going back tomorrow. We are in primary school. Question number 2. Who is the title character and protagonist of the J.R.R. Tolkien 1937 novel, The Hobbit, as well as a supporting character in The Lord of the Rings? Who started a new job? Diane's saying, starting a new job at University Hospital, Coventry and Warwickshire on the 11th. Oh, God, what they got you doing, Diane? Don't tell me. Oh. Vaccinating, don't tell me. God. They need everywhere they can get at the moment, I'm sure. Squeaky Bob, I would be back, but no longer employed. Great. Yeah, it's going to be very tough for a lot of people, I think, the new year, but we will see. Question number 3. Who was a knighted English comic actor who became a worldwide icon through his screen persona, the Tramp, and is considered one of the most important figures in the history of the film industry? Do you remember? That's a CC, which makes it pretty straightforward. So who was a knighted English comic actor who became a worldwide icon through his screen persona, the Tramp, and is considered one of the most important figures in the history of the film industry? Question number 4, starting with a D, or a double D. Which cartoon character created in 1934 is typically seen wearing a sailor shirt, a cap, and a bow tie? What's he put? They're not on HDR 4K Blu-ray. Well, they ought to be. So which cartoon character created in 1934 is typically seen wearing a sailor shirt, a cap, and a bow tie? Question number 5. It's got to start with the letter E. Who was born in Lower Broadheath near Worcester on June 2nd, 1857? He was appointed Master of the King's Music in 1924. What's he put on? That should have been now, not. What? So question 5 again. Who was born in Lower Broadheath near Worcester on June the 2nd, 1857? That's 100 years before me. And he was appointed Master of the King's Music in 1924. 1924. 2024. You see, I've got 3 years yet, and then I could be the same as him. Question number 6. What name is given to a type of animal that can make powerful self-propelled leaps out of the water where their long wing-like fins enable gliding for considerable distances above the water's surface? 2-word answers starting with the letter F. So what name is given to a type of animal that can make powerful self-propelled leaps out of water where their long wing-like fins enable gliding for considerable distances above the water's surface? I suppose it's helpful if you're trying to escape from things. Question number 7, starting with the G. What type of dancing was thought to have originated in the early 1960s when women at the Peppermint Lounge in New York City began to get up on tables and dance the twist? Although when I remember it in London in the East End in the 70s, it wasn't the twist they were doing, but never mind. So question number 7, what type of dancing was thought to have originated in the 1960s when women at the Peppermint Lounge in New York City began to get up on tables and dance the twist? 2-word answer starting with the letter G, of course. Question number 8, starting with the letter H. Who was an American business magnate, record-setting pilot, engineer, and philanthropist, known during his lifetime as one of the most financially successful individuals in the world? So question 8 again. Who was an American business magnate, record-setting pilot, engineer, and philanthropist, known during his lifetime as one of the most financially successful individuals in the world? Question number 9 starts with the letter I. Yeah, completely mad. You're right, Martin. At least he knew his money, apparently. So, starting with the letter I, now owned by Media House of Belgium, or Media Haas of Belgium, what is Ireland's largest selling daily newspaper, which was founded in 1905 and is headquartered in Talbot Street, Dublin? You can almost make that one. Well, you can make that one up. So I'm looking for 2 words starting I and I. I'm sure you can almost work that one out. So now owned by Media House of Belgium. What is Ireland's largest selling daily newspaper, which was founded in 1905 and is headquartered in Talbot Street, Dublin? Question number 10. This was an interesting one. With a name originally borrowed from the Hindu language, what is a term that can be used for Western-style nightwear? Two-word answer, starting with a J. It's almost a slang term, but not really. So with a name originally borrowed from the Hindu language, what is a term that can be used for Western-style nightwear? What's that? I should give it my slight Hindu kind of, my head waggle. That's exactly what they do in India. Well, yes, please. Yes, please, thank you. Right then, you should have 10 answers starting A, B, B, C, C, D, D, all the way through. We will do some marking because I'm sure they weren't too tricky. Might have been one or two, but not all of them. So here we go then. Answers to round number 5, the initial pairs round. Barely worn anything else since March. Ooh. Yes, everybody can sit. No. Right, round, here we go. Initial pairs then. Adjacent to the Great Rift Valley, I was after the burial place of Haile Selassie. That's Addis Ababa. Addis Ababa. Well done if you got that. Number 2, of course, was Bilbo Baggins. Number 3, it was Charlie Chaplin I was after. Number 4, I was after Donald Duck. Number 5, born near Lower Broadheath in Worcestershire, was Edward Elgar, known to his mates as Ted, of course. Number 6 was the flying fish. Number 7, there were go-go dancers that get up on tables and dance the twist, apparently. Didn't do when I was at college, but never mind. Number 8 was Howard Hughes. Number 9, I was after the Irish Independent. Well done if you worked out the Irish Independent. And finally, number 10 was Jim Jams, of course. Jim Jams. The actual work that was stolen was pajamas or pie jams, but it translates that Jim Jams is a slang term of the same thing. So there we have it. Right then, everybody, let's have some scores in. See how you've done after that round. I'm sure we had some very good scores on that round. Just one to go, you'll be pleased to know. Squeaky Pub have moved on to a fantastic 50 points. Sarah and the gang. Sarah, Russ, Joe and James are on 46. We've got the Rugby Rotary Club now on 49 points. Chris Peaks on 46. We've got Pig and Mix on 48. Footy Fox 86 are on 38. We've got Martin Davis on 49. The Famous Five have moved on to 46. Don Quizzotti now on 49 points. Woody Jewback on 39. We've got Anthony Ridgway, and the Ridgways on 45 points. Just gone off the screen, but never mind. Pinky and Perky are now on 49. We've got Anne and Dave are on 41 points. Jen and Trace are on 46. Matthew Blood and PRS are on 52 points. That's some good going. Dylan's now on 44 points. We've got Mick Roberts on 50 points. Well done, Mick. That's a great score. Mike Yates is on 47. We've got 34.5 for the Yorkies. 47 for Jill and Steve Pugh. Andrew and Jane are on 40 points. Carol Green saying, hooray, 10 on 40 points. Well done, Carol. Clive and Janet from Stokes are on 49 points. Michelle, she's under the yellow bit that's on my screen. Hang on. I'll come back to you, Michelle. Michelle Gibbons, 52 points. Faye's on 43 for the On Fire Boobies. No, we don't want On Fire Boobies, but they're on fire at the moment. Graham Giffords on 50 points. Penny Graham now on 38. We've got Roland on 38 points. Home Alone 6 are on 50. We've got Gaz and Bean on 39. Team UK USA on 51, staying in the running. That's what I'd like to see. Quizzy Rascals are on 53 points. Well played with Quizzy Rascals. Latham House Lockdown on 44. We've got Chris Pickard on 48. Split the Difference on 52. Have we got any more scores in? So it still appears. Got Split the Difference. We got Team UK USA, Quizzy Rascals, Home Alone 6, the Giffords. We got Michelle Gibbons. Who else we got in the 50s? Mick Roberts, PRS. We've got, there were some great scores here tonight. Well, Squeaky Pub, all in the 50s. And anybody else in the 49s, 48s has got a great chance tonight of winning. Now, general trivia, there's one or two here that might sort you out. And but there's not too many catch questions. They're pretty much straightforward trivia. So without further ado, let's get on to the last round and see out this first quiz of the year. This is quiz number 78 tonight of the year. Since March, I suppose, 78. God knows how many weeks that is, but it's 78 divided by 2. What's that, Lydia? 35, 36, 37. Yeah, 39. 39 weeks we've been doing the quiz. Right then, not initial pairs, where are we going to? Right, we are now on general trivia. General trivia. Are we ready? So question number 1, listen carefully. In September, which famous couple said, "Our focus will be on creating content that informs but also gives hope," after agreeing a multi-year deal to make documentaries, films, and children's shows on Netflix? That was last September. Yeah. So in the September of last year, sorry, so I'll put you in September, I mean last September, which famous couple said, "Our focus will be on creating content that informs but also gives hope," after agreeing a multi-year deal to make documentaries, films, and children's shows for Netflix? Well, they didn't come and ask me, did they? Just surprising how position can get you anything, doesn't it? But there we have it. Question number 2, dead easy this one. How should the year 2020 be written in Roman numerals? So question 2, how should the year 2020 be written in Roman numerals? Pretty straightforward, I think, for that one. Polish off on my beer for the evening. Question number 3 is one of those stupid ones. This is a stupid one. Now, somebody, and I'm sure somebody must have sent me this, but never mind. One of my stupid questions. Getting to the bottom of big stories. What was the name of a Missouri-based local newspaper? I'll give you the choice. Was it the Big Bottom Bugle, the Tushy Times, or the Uranus Examiner? One of the most ridiculous questions in the world. So getting to the bottom of big stories. What was the name of the Missouri-based local newspaper? I'll give you the choice. Is it the Big Bottom Bugle, the Tushy Times, or the Uranus Examiner? We've always got to have a Uranus question in there somewhere. I know, daft. Absolutely daft, but never mind. Question number 4. Which country in Central Africa takes its name from a line of latitude that lies to its south and a gulf that lies to its west? That's an interesting question. So which country in Central Africa takes its name from a line of latitude that lies to its south and a gulf that lies to its west? Question number 5 is an interesting one. In 2020, and duetting with Michael Ball, who became the oldest person ever to top the UK singles charts? I'm sure you've all have heard of him. So in 2020, and duetting with Michael Ball, who became the oldest person ever to top the UK singles charts? Question number 6. On what day and at what time did people applaud from their homes as part of the Clap for Carers? Yeah, it doesn't sound very clever, but Clap for Carers movement in March, April and May of 2020. So on what day and at what time did people applaud from their homes as part of the Clap for Carers movement in March, April and May of 2020? We should have kept it going, really, shouldn't we? Never mind. What's that? You'll be clapped out. Wife says she'll be clapped out. All right, let's talk about clap. Let's get on to question number 7. Who said on the 31st of March 2020, of course I'd like to thank Alex, who I've shared the sofa with for all these years, and the teams of people who have worked on this show all around the UK. I'm going to miss you all. So who said on the 31st of March 2020, of course I'd like to thank Alex, who I've shared the sofa with for all these years, and the teams of people who have worked on this show all around the UK. I'm going to miss you all. Unfortunately, they brought him back, of course, as soon as he retired. But never mind. He's retired properly now. Question number 8, some terms from a game. In what game might you knuckle down before shooting your peewee at the ducks? So question 8 again. In what game might you knuckle down before shooting your peewee at the ducks? Question number 9 is not the easiest in the world. Had me scratching my head for a long time, this one, but never mind. On June the 1st, the BBC reported that what had become the first sport to return after restrictions were eased in England, with 4,465 competitors setting off from Kettering. So on June the 1st, the BBC reported that what had become the first sport to return after restrictions were eased in England, with 4,466 competitors setting off from Kettering. Sorry, 65. Let me get it right. That was your penultimate question, a tricky one, that one. And finally, question number 10. Run during August, the Eat Out to Help Out scheme allowed customers to receive a 50% discount on meals and soft drinks up to £10 per person. On which days of the week? Obviously, you need all of them for a full point. I will give you half or less than the full amount. So question number 10 again. During August, the Eat Out to Help Out scheme allowed customers to receive a 50% discount on meals and soft drinks up to £10 per person. On which days of the week? Well, as I said, I was trying not to make the whole quiz something about last year and the catastrophe we had with the COVID virus, but never mind. There we have it. There are the last 10 questions of the night. I hope you've managed to get most of those right, or at least had a guess at them, so to speak. I will just give you 30 seconds while I finish off my beer. I finished off my side for tonight. And say Happy New Year to all of you. I hope you've all enjoyed the quizzes over the past 9 months. And I hope that we'll continue at least for a month or two until we can get the pub open again. Then I'll have to figure out what the hell we're going to do then, but never mind. No, we're not open for it. Right then, let's get through the put your pens down. I think we've had enough scratching your heads. If you haven't, just get an answer down quickly, and I will go through the answers to the previous 10 general trivia questions. So here we go then. In September, which famous couple said our focus will be on creating content that informs, it also gives hope? That, of course, was Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. So Harry and Meghan, of course. Number 2, how should the year 2020 be written in Roman numerals? That's MMXX, surprisingly, not too tricky, that one. Number 3 was a tricky one. Getting to the bottom of big stories. What was the name of the Missouri-based local newspaper? I gave you the choice. Was it the Big Bottom Bugle, the Tushy Times, or the Uranus Examiner? Well, of course, it was the Uranus Examiner, of course. What would you ever doubt? However, they did stop production of the Uranus Examiner after the local mayor complained a lot that it wasn't particularly good. There is a city in Missouri. Is it Missouri? Yes, called Uranus, of course. Everybody knows that, surely. Question number 4. I was after the place called Equatorial Guinea. Equatorial Guinea. Well done if you got that. Number 5, of course, who duetted with Michael Ball, was Captain Tom Moore, who had that, the oldest person ever to top the UK singles charts. Well, he was 100 years old, nearly 99 when it was that. On what day of the year and at what time did people applaud in the clap for carers? That, of course, was on Thursdays at 8 p.m. or 2000 hours, whichever way you want to say it. If it was Captain Mandarin, it was 2000 hours, although he could never understand that. So Thursday at 8 p.m. Who said, well, this is number 7, March 2020. Of course, I'd like to thank Alex. Of course, it was Matt Baker from The One Show, Matt Baker. Number 8 in the game, what might you knuckle down before shooting your peewee at ducks? That's marbles, of course. The game of marbles, knuckling down is the starting position. Your peewee can be a small marble, and of course, ducks are the ones you shoot at. Number 9, I was after pigeon racing. Pigeon racing, that was a tricky one, wasn't it? So on the 1st of June, 4,465 pigeons set off from Kettering. God knows where they were going, but they were racing somewhere. And finally, of course, Eat Out to Help Out was basically on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays for the full point. If you've only bought 2 of those, or half of those, or the wrong ones, then it's only half a point on one. So there we have it. Right, let's have some scores in, see how we've all fared after that round. I don't think it was a particularly tricky round. There were 1 or 2 in there that might have caught you out. Carol Green ends up, Georgie Lamont and the August end up on a fantastic 41.5. Well played, Rory and Georgia. Have a great new year. Carol Green on 48. You too have a great year on 48 points. The Rugby Rotary Club, 57. That's a very respectable score. Well played, Kevin and the gang. Latham House Lockdown end up on 50 points. Well played, you. Footy Fox 86 end up on 45. Same to you, fantastic score. Dylan, well played, Dylan. First time out on 50 points. That's really good. Squeaky Pob, 58 points. Now, there's a good score. Sarah, Russ, and Joe and James on 53 points. Well played, you. Let's see whether we can meet up next year sometime, or this year even. Faye on 47 for the 2 of us. Matthew Blood, PRS, 61 points. Well played, PRS. Just gone off the screen. Mike Yates ends up on 52. Well done, Mike, and I hope you're going to have a great new year and see what happens this year. Martin Davis, 56. Best score ever, I think. Well done, Martin. Tina must have been working very hard there, I think. The famous 5 end up on 54. Well played, John and the gang. Pinky and Perk on 57. Well played, you. That's a great score. Pinky and Perky, of course, were first came to the British screens in 1957. Anton Ridgway ends up on 52 points. Well played, the Ridgways. Graham Gifford. See how they fared, 58 points. They were picked, however, by Home Alone 6 on 59 points. Well played, them. Donkers Hotel on 57. That's a great score. As is Mick's 57. Well played, Mick Roberts. I think it's a great score for just the 2 of you. Jen and Tracy on 53. Well played, Jen and Tracy. You pick a mix, 54. Well played, you guys. I hope to see you in the pub soon. Michelle, 59. Missed a few ones. Well, that's not bad at all. 59 is a great score. Jill Pugh, they've been picked, I think, by the Giffords. Well, not just picked, I think. They've, never mind, they've done very well on 53 points. Quizzy Rascals end up on 62. Well played, the Quizzy Rascals. That's a great score tonight. Well played, you. Andrew and Jane Lewis end up on 45 points, and we have Roland on 41, Gaz and Bean end up on 45, Penny Graham, well played Penny on 43, and well played Wooly Chewbacca on 45.5. Split the difference, end up on 59. Team UK USA 59 as well. Well played them. So we've got some great scores. Anybody in the upper 50s, 59 for Team UK USA, split the difference. 59 for Michelle, 59 for Home Alone 6. We've got some great scores there. Two teams in the 60s tonight. Anti Blood, PRS on 61 points, but pipping it tonight with a fantastic 62 points. Well played, the Quizzy Rascals, and Paula Lewis on 62 points. Fantastic scores. Thanks, everybody, and good night. We'll see some of you again on Wednesday night, where Nick will be doing his 8 o'clock quiz. If not, come and join us next, 8 for 8:15. If not, come and join us next Sunday, of course, which will be the 10th, I think. Yeah, that's about right. 3 and 7, 8, 10. Yeah, the 10th of January, 10th of January, for our next Sunday night quiz. So it's goodbye from me. Do make sure that you give me a little thumbs up. I don't know how many thumbs up have I got tonight? I don't know. Let me have a quick look, see what we all got. 33 thumbs up tonight. Let's see. Do give me a thumbs up before you go, and let's see whether we can beat the record. I think 32, we're up to 34. That's great. So good night, everybody. Thank you for taking part, and look forward to seeing you, some of you, again on Wednesday. Do come and join us on Wednesday. If you can't join us on Wednesday, do come and see us next Sunday, and we're getting there. We've got a good online following now with lots of people taking part in the quiz, and it's great to see you all. And thank you very much. All have a good new year. Stay safe, stay fit, and we will see you on Wednesday, if not next Sunday. So good night, everybody. Thank you very much.